even today here at this conference, having Coinbase and GSR join ISDA is kind of an example of that convergence to some extent. Where I think, like I mentioned, the kind of native crypto derivatives market was developing in kind of one silo, and the traditional finance market was developing another. I think already we're seeing that there's a need on both sides to identify those consistent standards from a documentation standpoint, from best practices and credit and operational standpoint. And so we're kind of in the very early days. But this is, I see, as prime example of the convergence that's happening and working together to solve all of those challenges, which will help have a much more robust and frankly, stronger market.
Yeah, I think, we're getting to that point of convergence where it's definitely about sort of commercial opportunities, but Josh, it's also about ISDA. It's also about the support infrastructure, right? It's also about things like common domain model, protocols, industry utilities, where both the traditional finance world as well as the crypto native world have shared interest in things like look at reference data from the traditional finance world, right? Places where they've looked to create industry utilities and where there could be a communal data pool, right? These things are really important when we talk about derivatives, not just from pricing, but actually creating the products, baskets, financial indices, things of that nature. So as we hit these points of convergence and as these places like ISDA, you had to look at sort of the full suite of what we can do at ISDA and what we can really achieve.